All right, this is my 63 C10. It's airbagged in the back. Just cut coils in the front. So far, I'm still working on getting the stuff for that. It's a LS 6 liter. This is what we got to do. I'm going to replace this wood bed. I'm going to get it up on the lift and show you all how I'm going to do it. What I got to do is take those bolts out. They're across that cross member. On all the cross members, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at every foot, there's a set of bolts all the way across. I'm going to try to get all them out. Once they're all out, I'm going to cut my own wood, make them fit. On the bottom, I used a cobalt, what do they call this thing? Ratchet, multi-fit socket, whatever. It'll take off rounded bolts. And I used the 1/2 inch that's missing right there. That's what I used to take off the square nuts. Worked pretty well. A couple of them I had to grind off. They just wouldn't come off. I got to work on these edge ones. I don't know if it's, I've never had one of these apart. I don't know if it's welded to the bedside or it's just stuck from being on there for 70 years. So I guess I'm just going to start pulling pieces of wood out and I'm just going to lay them out. I got to take these bolts out. The bed bolts actually hold the bed down. Take them out. Once those are out, I've said this like 8 times, but I think all the bolts are out. Take those out. There's, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4-ish. The bed bolts holding the bed down. Take them out. And then I'm going to take one piece at a time and set it off to the side. And then I'm going to cut it on a saw table. I'm going to cut it on a saw table to the width. And then I'm going to router with the saw table the little grooves that are in here so the strips can hold the wood down. I'm going to try to do because I don't have a bed kit per se. These look like they might have had some other things to them too, but that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully it works. Get these bolts out. And the next thing I'll show you is maybe I'll time lapse this again. Time lapse me taking the bed apart. And then I'll talk to you again once I get skipped over yesterday. So I marked down where each board ended. There's a mark there. there, all the way down the tailgate. And then I put the widths of each board on each spot: 3 3/4, 7 3/4, 7 3/4. So that way I kind of know where they go back in at. So to get the boards out, I had to lift the bed up a little bit. And the way I did that was I put jack stands underneath all four corners and then set my lift down. And that lifted the bed up off of the frame so I could get these the side pieces of wood out. Because the way that it works is the wood actually holds the bed up. This is the only spot that the metal is connected to metal, is in this corner. All the way up, all along there is nothing holding the bed to the truck except wood that's screwed down to these. This piece, this piece, this piece, that one, and that one. But it's just lag bolts that hold the bed to the wood to the bed, to the frame. So once those are cut off, the bed just flops around. So putting this side pieces in there, it's gonna be a tight fit because you got to wedge it in there. And the C notch and the painting stuff, I might just do that today. If I got my buddy wants to come over and help, so we might end up working on the wood. It's the next morning, by the way. And I think that's everything that I skipped over yesterday or last night. I was tired. All right. Well, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today, I think. It's getting late. I'm tired. Been out here doing this all day. The bed, well, the frame of the bed. It's kind of cool. There's even paint left on there. You know, original 60s. I've never had this bed off of here, and I've had it since 93 or so, and my uncle had it before that. So, pretty dang nice. It's kind of crazy. There's orange paint on there. I have no idea where that came from. I think this is blacktop that doesn't want to come off. But, you know, down in there, there's paint. On there, there's paint. That cross member is pretty much solid paint still. There's a couple spots that I hit with a grinder, like right here, because I didn't know if I was going to take it apart or not this far. But I figured since I was already here, I might as well. I'll show you how I did these boards. Some of them ain't the greatest. But like, so there's a kind of good example. I don't know if you can see. There's a groove. Oh, it's hard to see it. Kind of see the groove. So it's cut, and then it's cut this way also. That way I've got a lip. That way the track can sit on it and grab a hold of it. Cut down to length. I think I'm going to stain them. I don't know what color I'm going to stain them. I'm thinking maybe dark black. Darkest stain I can get. I tried motor oil. It ain't dark enough. I want it to be darker. Here's the original boards. You know, they're dark, but I want them like dark. If the truck's black, figure to make it match it. Now I got this bumper off, and I'm kind of stuck. I'm liking it without the bumper. Man, it looks pretty good without a bumper. Maybe build a little roll pan down, you know, between the two fenders. Cover up that frame look, but man, that looks pretty dang good. I'm just amazed that the frame is in such a good shape. You know, you guys out west, you know, you guys see this all the time. This is normal, but for up here, I live in the Midwest, in the Salt Belt. Everything's gone. Surprised that this thing is this good. It is from Colorado, but it's been here for over 30 years. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a video. I'll bring it back when I start staining it, painting the bed, painting the frame, bring it back for all that stuff. Thanks for watching.